Hello once again. It's your boy, That's No Moon, and we are back with another one. First order of business, as always, you guys know what to do. Hit that like and subscribe button if you do want to see more Star Wars Galaxy Heroes videos. And fingers crossed, tonight's one is going to be a little bit different, a little bit left field as well. And this one originally came from an idea. And just in the background as well, I'm going to play some 3v3 because it's coming up to 3v3 and everyone forgets how to play 3v3 as well. And it's just something to watch while I'm talking over it. But this video idea came from Orion Mitch on YouTube, and he commented saying, have you ever thought about making a video about your roster? Just general regrets and your favorite investments. I think that would be cool. So first and foremost, thank you very much for the comment. And I thought I would actually start off with that. And with any kind of regrets video, I thought, okay, easy way out on this one is going to be pick a few characters, pick a few Zetas, pick a few little specifics. And again, it can be helpful, but in the majority, it kind of isn't as well. And I'll explain that point at the end. And as always with myself, I kind of sort of go down on a tangent and yeah, I came up with something sort of completely different as well, but also is a bigger reflection on my everyday life. Using 5 years of playing this game's experience, what have I learned from it, and what do I regret as well? So without further ado, we'll move on to number one. And number one is probably the biggest, maybe the biggest regret I have in this game when it comes to playing very competitively. And that is mods. Now, mods are the absolute backbone of this game. You may have heard this talked about before, but honestly, it is one of the most important things in this game, underpinning any sort of success at a high level. And you'll notice in Grand Arena, if you come up against an absolute monster with the mods, your hard counters now find really, really tough to get through, and you can forget about soft counters as well. In territory battles, in conquests, in a lot of different aspects of this game, mods are absolutely king. In Arena as well. And I wish, one of my biggest regrets about this game was not farming mods early enough. I just kind of used the mods that I collected from challenges or whatever it was. I never really farmed, but now I'm very much in the habit, certainly over the last 3 months maybe, of actually farming mods. And I must have got pretty lucky with the mods that I've got, because I've got an okay set now, but it's took a lot of work to get it to where it needs to be, and it needs a whole lot more work as well. Especially on the speed rolls, offense set, crit damage, crit chance, crit avoidance arrows, things like that. So there is a lot of work that I need to do on mods, and it is ongoing. It never stops. And as soon as you realize that work on mods never stops, the sooner you'll become more competitive, basically. And what I used to do with, and I think this is a personal judgment as well, when I used to, let's say, for example, get that Grand Arena currency that comes through at the end of the week, what I would do is I would take it and I would go and spend it on Chirotech or little finisher pieces that I needed, which is all fine when you don't have many Gear 13 characters. Now, in terms of what I do now, as opposed to back then, I'm spending all that currency on buying mod, so I can slice up my mods, or buying like new mods basically with the energy that I've got as well. So yeah, mods is definitely an ongoing thing, something I really, really regret not doing earlier. Number two is guilds. Now, guilds, finding yourself in a bad fit guild. Now, I have talked about this on videos before, but number two, probably my very, very first guild. I was in that for about a year, and I think this happens to a lot of players as well. They just don't understand how good a guild can be and get stuck in a bad guild where you don't surround yourself with like-minded players, or only half the guild is active, or you're in a dying guild. So I think guilds is hugely important for a good experience in this game as well. Having a good, solid guild, whether it's in an alliance or whether it's in an independent guild, it doesn't really matter too much. As long as you surround yourself with like-minded people, then that's the important thing, in my opinion. Because, as I said, my story was I started this first. I didn't have a clue what I was doing in that first year when this game had newly launched. I was just having fun with it, and guilds wasn't really something that I was too bothered about. I didn't even really think about changing guilds. They probably weren't as important back then as they are now, but definitely finding the right guild is super, super important, especially early on as well, because this is going to help out with raids, making sure that everyone's active, territory wars, territory battles, etc. And essentially, you're going to be earning more loot as well. So that's the important thing. And you're going to be able to progress quicker as well. And it kind of, with guilds, leads me on to point number 3. And one of my regrets here is not surrounding myself with better players. So when I talk about this, I think this covers actually all aspects of life as well. It's kind of nice being a big fish in a small pond, and we all like it, and we all like people, oh, wow, look at your roster. And the reality is that's all well and good, but unless you're actually actively pushing yourself and surrounding yourself with better players who are teaching you new things as well, after 5 years, I don't even pretend to know 3/4 of this game, let alone all of this game. I will be absolutely honest. And recently, I have now put myself in a position where if I don't know something, I'll reach out to someone. Whereas before I go, it's not really very important. What I'll do now is actually ask someone, or if someone has got a good, let's say, for example, a good Beskar Mando, then I might ask them, well, how do I want to mod this character? Or where's he best used in on offense or on defense? So a lot of the time now I'm asking questions because this is going to be one of the most important things in improving. I do feel that there's a balance in there as well, because I think you can go over the top. And again, I think having several different people to ask and bounce off is going to be a very important thing as well. But for me, I feel surrounding yourself with better players, whether it's in this game or in life overall, is going to have a hugely influential effect on how you think, how you act, your confidence around people as well, confidence going into a grand arena matchup. I think that's a very, very good recipe for success, in all honesty, is surrounding yourself with better players and letting your ego take a hit and going, I'm not the best guy in this guild. There are lots and lots of better guys. Ideal situation, we swallow our ego completely and we're the worst person in a guild, and we're actually learning off everyone else. So number 4, and this is, again, kind of leads on to number 3, ships. Now, I know I'm absolutely guilty of ships. If you have ever seen a Grand Arena matchup of mine, ships is a really, really sweaty palm phase for any Grand Arena for myself. And I know I'm not the only one there. Ships is essentially an underutilized part of this game, I feel. And essentially, it's probably one of the easiest parts of this game as well, because there are very, very few very few counters, or there's certain things. But I guess one of my regrets is not sort of understanding ships, the finer points of ships a little bit earlier and sooner. I still don't know the finer points of a lot of the ships. And again, I need to reach out and ask people about ships advice a lot of the time. And it's starting to click, and it's starting to get there, and I'm starting to realize how to get around certain combinations and things like that. But it kind of leads me back to that thing of surrounding myself with better players, and again, being able to test things out in squad arena, or fleet arena, but also understanding as to why they won't work. So ships definitely underutilized. Definitely would love to have a better rebel fleet. And finalizer and first order and 6E mods. Going back to that point number 1, when you think about conquest, we're getting all of this salvage for upgrading 6E mods, and now the new choke point is going to be 6E mods, which also pilots need as well. So again, there is no better time to start on mods. Number 5 is going to be over-relicking early characters. Now, I made the mistake when relics first came out, is just like going hammer and tong on these relics and being just boosting them up. They are going to get their biggest significant boosts on when they go from gear 12.5 to gear 13. That's when they get the biggest stat increase. We have all seen those rosters where people don't put any relics on. That's the most efficient way to do it. There is very few characters, I actually believe, that need to go to Relic 7. There is only a handful of characters that actually definitely need to go to Relic 7 to be able to perform certain counters. But the other side of it is, I feel that, you should follow a passion project as well and just go for it, because essentially it's your game. But if you are after a meta perspective. There's a huge amount of characters that you do not need to over relic as well. So that's number 5, I guess, just being a bit smarter with resources as well. Now, number 6 is a little bit more personal, and this one again is this one is called spending too much time on the game. Now, when I think about this, I've been playing this game for 5 years, and I've played for at least an hour a day, let's say, sometimes more, sometimes less. And being on Discord and being in guild chat or talking to people, whether it's about the game or whether it's in personal things, there is a lot of time that goes into this game as well. And there's certain communities that will take up a lot of your time as well, which essentially isn't always a bad thing, but it can be a good thing. But I definitely feel that I've spent way too much time on this game. Fiscally, I've not spent any money at all. The grand total that I've spent is 15 Great British pounds on this game. So in terms of that, unfortunately, free to play, you do have to spend a lot of time and you do have to min-max a lot. And again, it's one of those things that I think, family life probably has taken a hit. But again, I'll come on to that a little bit more as to why that's a little bit of a wider ethos as well. But yeah, definitely, my position, I'm a father and I'm also a partner to someone. So again, that needs to be taken into consideration. So again, is it lack of discipline? I don't know. Probably is. And not being able to say for a good amount of time, today I'm just going to sit out on my squad arena and I'm going to get my tickets done early, but then after that, I'm taking the rest of the day off, just once a week or Sunday afternoon or the whole of Sunday. I'm going to get my stuff done early and then I'm going offline for the rest of the day. So is it discipline? Probably yes. Has it got me any more happiness? Definitely not. But I think it's about striking a balance and that's a subjective thing. So you guys will know what you need to do. But I feel that it is a topic worth talking about as well, simply because I think that there's a lot of people who do get in a lot of trouble with that, whether it becomes disruptive financially or whether it's a case of, you are addicted to this game as well, because that is also a very real thing. And essentially, if you are, my advice is just talk to someone about it, make that behavior conscious. Are you unable to put your phone down? Is your phone constantly pinging with Discord messages and things like that? Chances are you probably are a little bit too involved in this game as well, like I definitely have been. As a content creator, I think you do spend a little bit more time thinking about things, talking about things, being more active in Discords and things like that. So is it a regret? Yeah, I think so on a personal level. Is it a regret in a game level? No. But again, I think, at some points in this game, I have definitely put too much time, whether it's raids, whether it's squad arena, whether it's grand arena. There's a lot of game modes that can take a lot of time out of your day. So yeah, I've definitely been guilty of that. So that kind of leads me on to point number 7, the final point. And I think one of my biggest regrets in this game is also regretting too much. There's a lot of things there I think I do regret, but I think when I really do boil it down, I think, there's a lot of things on my roster where I could, I shouldn't have done that, or I shouldn't have put this data on here. But I think this opens up a wider lesson in life as well, that actually we have to embrace those mistakes and not really focus too much on the past either. We've got to learn from that behavior and go forward and look ourselves in the mirror and go, because when we think about it, the most important step that you take is the next one that you take. And it doesn't matter how many mistakes you've actually made. Essentially, you can dwell on those and become depressed about them, or if you've lost a very close grand arena, not get over it, because whatever it is in this game, I think that fully transfers to life in general. I think regretting too much is also a big regret of mine. I think that actually it doesn't really matter that much whether I win or lose a grand arena in the grander scheme of things. It's nice winning. Who doesn't like winning, right? But essentially it doesn't really matter. And I think that, we need to have that thing of, listen, if I do make a mistake in this game or life, we're all human. And there's some times where we're going to get our ass kicked. And that's absolutely fine as well. If we can extract something or take something out of that as well and learn to be a better person. So even from making this video, I've sort of thought, okay, my discipline probably does need more work. I am on this game too much. But I think making those processes conscious, learning from them and going forward and owning them and acting on them as well is going to be one of the most important things that we do. So there's my left field, slightly left field regrets about the game and also kind of what I'm doing with them as well. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. If you have, as I said, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. If you do want to talk a little bit more, there is a Discord in the server or Discord server that in the link down below in the description. And I will leave you with that. I've been That Snow Moon. Let me know your thoughts as always, and I will see you all next time. Cheers, guys. Hello once again. It's your boy That Snow Moon, and we are back with another one. First order of business as always, you guys know what to do. Hit that like and subscribe